All right. So not too many. Um, Probably Chia. Probably rather lose my wallet than my phone. You're probably right about that. Not too much going on as far as what I see in the market. Um, I personally am currently short the Canadian dollar. So see how that goes. Um, but yeah, I don't see too much happening as far as like we're not buying in this area. What you do need to look out for is actually 78.50. Um, Ironically, that's actually yesterday's high. So the question is, when we open in about 30 minutes, are we running to the downside and testing that area? And what I normally do is let's just go that. So write these numbers down. It's going to be 78.50 again. Yeah, baby, I tried calling it. I even tried to do that Google find phone shit. Didn't work. Anyways, write these numbers down, 78.50. And roughly, and this is the rough part, roughly about 91.25. So those are 78.50 is the line in the sand for the ultimate line in the sand. A soft line in the sand is going to be at 91.25. If we come down, test 91.25, and we run, you can expect the next stop, or you can expect it to run to about 45.22.25. So write those numbers down because I probably won't be here, but that's what you're looking for, right? Gold is just obviously taking off. The important number in gold, which will affect ES, and this is why no one in here really, aside from Timmy, no one here doesn't know what I'm about to say. But Timmy, the reason why we track a lot of these other assets is because it'll be naive to think that if you're trading ES, only ES matters. You should be looking at all markets across the board. This is what Capital Flow is about, and this is what I trade. You want to track everything because everything affects everything, right?
Like even if you were to think about it, if you were just to say, I only trade Tesla or I only trade Apple, you don't think anything else affects the price of Apple or the price of Tesla? Nothing to do with metals or any type
absolutely
of
right.
Like it's ridiculous to think that it doesn't.
I didn't want to use the word ridiculous because I used the word naive, but you're absolutely right. So you want to track other assets to make sure X, Y, and Z is is in play, right? So we did get to a major level at 1953.5 in gold, but that one is not as important as 1960.2. Write those down. Yes, it is a major level, but 1960.2 is the most important number right now in gold. So are we going to test it? Maybe, maybe not, maybe later. We could easily actually come back down to like about 32, 33 before shooting back up and retesting that 60.2 in gold. Now, why is this important? Because if we're testing 45.22 in ES simultaneously as we're testing gold at that 60.2, that is where you can actually lean on shorts on, right? And try to do that. Simultaneously, that same number in NQ, that same number as in that 45.22 and NQ is at 15,596. Again, write those down. That's the ceiling of it, right? And then for JJ, it's going to be at 126.01. So we had a really, really good bounce off that 123.01 a couple days ago. And now, or Monday, I should say. And now we're most likely going to travel up to 126.01. And that bounce off that 123.01 was fucking, 2 ticks off. And I don't know if JJ's listening, but you've been hearing me say 123.01 for quite some time now. So, but yeah, 126.01 is going to be that number. So 126.01 is going to correspond with that 1960.2 in the gold. And all of that lines, you fucking slam. Simple as that. The dollar. I haven't I haven't done the complete numbers on it yet. I need to. Let's see. 1 second. The dollar. 2. So dollar, once it gets to you guys can write this down. Okay, there it is. Once it gets to 100.2 and gold, bonds, ES, everything line up at that point. It's fucking full force. Just go. Yeah, JJ, I missed it too. It was quick. It didn't really give me, at least, a good entry, in my opinion. I think that, if you saw like the Z plays, I was looking for it to get to 123.18 or so before getting back in. And then even yesterday, I was trying to look for it to get to 123.28 to 24, to get into the long side, because I still think that we're going to get to 126.01. But now it's just gone a little bit too far and, couldn't get in.
Hey, Zero, what was that dollar number?
100.2.
Gotcha, thanks.
Yeah. Let me give you one more just in case. It's going to be 98.88. So if we do, because the dollar could run pretty hard. 98.88. It's a good Chinese number.
True.
But yeah, that's about it. As far as crude goes, I think we're gonna get to 76.09. Yep. Is anyone trading anything they want to talk about before I jump off? Because again, I have to deal with this bullshit. Bullshit. Are these plays valid for the entire week? No. I'm gonna say no, even though that sometimes I kinda want to say yes, but no. I will take it upon myself to re-up it meaning put it onto that day's play if it's still valid. I'll do the extra work, because instead of having you guess and get fucked up or get fucked over it by it, I'll just do the extra work. Yeah. Everything's going to be ran on the yen and the bonds, just like yesterday. Capital flow doesn't change that quick. So you're just looking at the gold, you're looking at bonds, and you're looking at the yen. That's the most important thing right now. The yen has, in my opinion, been pretty toppish right now. So, we could potentially reverse here or not. No clue. But yeah.
I just saw that ES broke out of its Range.
Mhm.
NQ is still in the range, like consolidation multi-day, because what I posted is a daily chart.
Yep.
Russell broke out of it, and Dow didn't yet.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. The Russell. Okay, so here is the Russell is gapping a gap, so be careful on that. Where if you're looking for Russell, you want to see what it does at 49.9, 1949.9. But chances are it's going to get to 1986.8. Maybe not. So definitely not today. Because we're overextending at a day. We're actually at +3 right now. So yeah, I would say we can get up there. As far as the Dow, it's a very good point, Peter. I checked this earlier on, and it's good that you're noticing it. We're not breaking out in the Russell. So here's what, and I have other work that I'm doing, I'm not going to show that, but for the Dow, it's a good observation that we have not broken out. When we do test it, the question is my other work aligning with it? Is ES at its number? Is the gold, the bond, the dollar all at that number? And if it is, then it's a slam dunk in my opinion. So yeah, so it's a very good observation on your end. But watch that number. I don't think NQ is much of it being in a range is gonna hold. I think it's gonna come out of that range soon. If anyone has questions, let me know.
Yeah, there's so much stuff to look at and keep track
Yep.
of.
I know. I'm sorry.
Oh no!
Sorry that I forced you guys to learn capital flow, but trust me. I mean, now that Peter, you've been around a little bit longer now. Like I think before the whole, private chat, you weren't really paying attention to it, but now you're more paying attention to it, right?
I still sometimes slack. Don't look at it, and I will look at it, but then during like trades, I will just focus on one and not the
That's okay.
others. So it takes time.
Yeah, but now you're starting to see like why things correlate and how things are correlating.
Slowly, it's still tough sometimes. It's like
Yeah, that's fine.
sometimes it's easier to see. Sometimes it's just confusing and um, confusing. Like, okay, I
Yeah.
had this idea, but then this happens, and now I have no idea.
Yep. Completely agree. Harvey, did you want to say something?
Yeah, so as far as this rebalancing goes, Red Pie, you can pipe up if you want or whatever. Will this be at the rebalancing? Will it be at the end of the day on Friday? Is that what they're? Is that what?
I think they're already. From what I was talking to my guys about, I think they're already doing it.
14.
Are they doing it right now? Let me ask. Give me a second. Hey, Judd.
Red Pie, if you know.
I don't know if. What's wrong? Oh shit. Hold on.
Was that just going to be a weekend thing, or?
Hey, Judd, can you hear me?
Yeah, child. That's what I mean. At Red Pie, the rebalancing. I've heard it was on Friday. Is it at the
I'm not
end
sure
of the
why I
day,
can't
so
hear you,
over the
Judd.
weekend?
I was asking about the rebalancing. Is it on Friday? I'll just ask the
The
pick
14th.
guys, Harvey.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah, but you guys can continue to talk. It's fine.
Redpie posted something in levels. I think
Yeah,
it
I
has
saw
to
it.
do with that.
Well,
Just 38%. That's quite a bit. I heard they want to be under 40, and then they're like at like 50 some shit, right? So it's actually, if you were to take that out of Microsoft, all the big boys, and then we're coming into earnings as well, right? Like banks are going to start earnings on Friday.
um,
It would be foolish for us not to think that the changing of the major top 5 is going to not change the price of the index, of the underlying. Mm.
That makes it even everything more confusing.
Yeah, well, Zero told me once they're not going to make it easy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
I mean-
like just like yesterday, you keep saying that, and look at the breakout yesterday on yesterday range in NQ and ES. Like they didn't make it easy. The first time they tried to break it out, that's where I got my short. Then it came back, and then they ran at end of day. They didn't break out of that multi-day range, but overnight and morning range.
Speaking of yesterday, I felt like, I only got one trade off yesterday, but I felt like I missed like more than a handful of good setups that I just didn't. Back and forth day seems to be one of my. It seems to work for me.
Yeah, but really, isn't that the case always? Like there is.
Yeah,
When you look
you're-
at it at the end of the day, there's so many potential setups that.
I mean, during the day, right? Like I watch and I go, "Oh fuck, I should be short," and then I'm like, "Ah, fuck, I'm chasing," and then I'm like, "Okay," so I just make a note, circle it, review. That's what I do. So end of the day, Jesus, don't get me started with that. Because there's another 10 that you're like, oh, that one was easy. This was easy. Bullshit, right? Like none of them are easy.
Yeah.
Especially if you can't pull it off in the right in battle, right? Like if you can pretend to kill a bunch of people on the simulator, but in real life,
Exactly. That's what's so hard about trading, because when you look at the charts, it looks so easy. It's like, oh yeah, buy here, make $1,000, sell here, make another 1,000.
I was actually saying more like 300 yesterday, 400,000. I was like, well, there's 300, there's 300, like.
Yeah, I'll take that, but yeah, it's so much easier. But real life,
all right, guys. The rebalancing is correct. It's on the 24th. Redpie was correct about that, and they've only done like 2 of these in the history of whatever. As far as like these old heads know, they're not going to rebalance or mess with Facebook's. It's more like Nvidia, Microsoft, so on and so forth. The bigger 6. As far as the weighting goes, it's not important.
Like it happens in the background over the weekend or whatever, and it just happens.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Again, I think he said they did it in like 01 or 2000 or something. So it's
no,
not
it was
on.
08 and 11. Like
Okay.
that.
But yeah, so how's it going to affect things? I don't know. We'll see.
Not a lot of data
It's-
on that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
How did they feel about the transportation average? Did they ever use that as something?
Transportation, what?
Transportation average?
I don't think they do, but
DJT. It's the ticker.
I don't think they do.
Really? It's kind of surprising. This told us the whole time there was nothing bearish about any of this.
Well, we'll see. I'm afraid there's gonna be a big ass fucking fall. That's what I'm afraid of.
Then once it gets going, is that what
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm afraid of that.
Yeah.
Because
we've gone a
Yeah.
little too far for this to be a nice, kind. What do they call that when it's just a reshuffle of the cards or whatever? Like
yeah,
they go up, they come back, they go up, they go up. You know, this is going a little bit excessive. You know, to the everything's
upside.
fine. You know, it's like what was the meme there with the everything's fine, the fire.
Yeah. Yeah, I it's just, yeah. I think, all right, so here's what I think. Bonds was at +3, now it's coming back in. I don't see this going much further, which in turn could actually drag ES and everything else lower, right? ES is already at between 2 and 3 right now, so you know, the question is what's going to happen, you know, where we're going to land.
I thought Activision turned down like a $90 billion deal or something. That would be opposite.
I'll once we open, I'll give you guys the numbers to ES, and then I'm probably gonna duck out. FYI.
Sorry, you say you lost your phone?
Yeah.
Fuck did you do that?
Dropped it. Not fun. Not fun.
How do you
at
drop
all.
it? It's like the size of.
I don't have a big phone. I don't use big phones.
Oh.
I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. All right.
You guys ready? 3 minutes. As of now, we're looking at instead of that 91 in ES, we're looking at 78.5 to 95.50. Okay. So pay attention to that. I'll be right back. I need to ask my guys some stuff. I didn't use a log on that. Should I? I see what you did. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Got it. Thank you, sir. All right, guys. Sorry, I just had to confirm some numbers. So yeah, so the numbers at 95.50, 78.50 to 95.50. I don't see this dropping very much, so you know, I would say say no play for me so far. Yep, I don't see anything. So just write down that number, 95.50 to 78.50. For NQ, for NQ, that number is 78.75, 278, 278.75 to 354.50. All right, guys, I gotta go deal with my phone problem shit. So I'll talk to you guys later. I'll try to jump on later. All right, guys.
There's you. What was the number for NQ? 78.50 to. Anyone remembers?
I think you said 354.
Yeah, it was 350 something.
350. All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Bye. Love you. Hmm.
I've made 3.25 points.
All right. Hey Chia, did you get any trades today?
No, I'm not. I haven't really seen any
Setups for me, so I haven't taken anything.
Okay. I took one on my live account in ES, and I was a
Nice.
loser. Um, I sold because I thought I really thought we're gonna retest the news breakout, but
Okay.
apparently market doesn't want to do that. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, it's like going up.
Yeah. I think NQ is pushing. There's a high volume node at 504. Like around 504 in NQ on 3 year.
Mhm.
And ES at the same time is stuck at what Bayman was talking about, that there's a gap. So it's starting and a 3 year profile, it's also value area, but value area high, but I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But there's a low volume node, like right here where we're stuck. So either we're gonna jump it, that's like another, to close it, that would be another like 10 points. So
Right.
maybe that's gonna happen, and then we'll rotate back. Or it could just get stuck here. And I mean, for NQ, 20 points is nothing.
Yeah.
For ES, 10 points
Low
is.
volume node, was that an ES or NQ?
What's that?
The low volume node, was that an ES or NQ?
That's ES. What
Yes.
Bayman was talking about. That's low volume node. So that's where we're at right now. At the bottom of it, and top is like 28, something like that. Around
It's pretty
those.
decent.
So yeah, that's 10 points. And Q at the same time, like I said, we only need what, 20, 24 more points to that high volume node. So I don't know. But NQ pretty much broke out of that range, that multi-day range.
Yeah, I can see it.
Let me see Russell.
So looks like we'll probably get to Zero's number up there then, right?
What was Zero's number?
Actually, no, it's pretty far. Yeah, it's pretty far.
What was the number?
I have this 596.
Out there? 50.
Yeah, so I don't know I don't know when I put that in there. It might have been a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I probably won't see that today. So
You never know. It's moving. So Russell's above that consolidation. So it broke out ES2. NQ's doing it right now, and Russell not yet. It didn't broke out yet. It broke out like what was it? 6-3. Oh, there was a 3-day consolidation. 6:30, 7:3, and 7:5 those days. But I remember that one day was holiday, so it doesn't really count. So we broke above that, but there is another like couple days before mid-June. There is still those highs that we have to clear on Dow.
yeah, we're still in there.
Yeah. I don't know, on days on days like today where it looks like every time it looks like it's gonna, that's it. It's gonna puke it just grinding up. I don't
Yeah.
wanna trade those days because it's hard to get in with the trend and even harder to fade it. Because if you wanna
Yeah.
fade it, you have to be like, just scalp it.
I agree. It's
Like you can see all the pullbacks are mean, some of them are fairly decent. You know, like we got what, 8 points in ES one time. What was it? Oh, right after open, we get that 8 point drop. But the rest is like what, 4 or 5 points.
Yeah.
So
It was cheap.
realistically, you know, you can get maybe 3 points out of it.
Hmm. Yeah, I definitely don't want to be shorting this.
Yeah. Wasn't really
But we'll see.
expecting
I mean,
that.
we're almost at that 522 number. I think we're supposed to look at what else? Dollar index, gold.
Yeah, gold.
Yeah,
Gold.
in
We're
1960.
actually at that. He said, but I didn't hear what Zero said about the gold number. 1960.2. We're
Yeah.
there right now. We went above it. Actually, first we like bounced just a little bit. I don't know. Are you looking at gold?
I am. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see we did like small bounce like twice, then we shot above it, came below it again, and now we're above it again. So it's just chopping around that level. And what
Yeah.
did he say? Gold has to bounce that level,
Something like that, yeah.
but
I guess if it,
sell off from that level or go higher above the level for.
I'm not sure. He said a lot of things. But I mean, if gold goes down, then like it's probably a bid on ES and NQ, right?
Yeah, because usually what he says, you know, if bonds and gold go up, then NQES should go down, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But this I didn't really catch. I mean, yeah, that's the thing too. Like Zero talks about so many things, and for me, I still get lost. I've been listening to him for a while, but I just get.
Hard to keep up.
Yeah, it's just too much information. Like he knows what, because you know he's been looking at it for years. For me, I still
Yeah.
get lost. It's just
Yeah, I
too
mean,
much.
also like when you're trading and like trying to listen to what he says, it's like even harder to
Yeah.
concentrate.
Exactly, and I don't have all the charts set up for all the symbols. Sometimes he mentions this, so I try to like put levels on it, and then by the time I do it, he's onto something else, and
Yeah,
it's just.
that always happens.
Yeah, it's understandable. There's so much stuff sometimes to talk about, so he has to move through it. But yeah, it's for me, it's still hard to keep up with all that. Okay, so when Q is at that level, you can
Level
overshoot,
again?
of course.
And NQ or gold?
NQ. Yeah,
What was the
gold
level?
is at that level too. It's gold is at the major level that he mentioned 60.2.
Yeah. What about the lower NQ?
NQ is at that high volume node on 3-year profile,
Okay.
and ES is almost in the middle of that low volume node. Low volume node is exactly at 22. 22,
Okay.
20. It's hard to tell because there's like two. So one is at 2250 and 2325, I think. Or 23 even. So we're almost there. That volume node, but if we were to close it, that gap, then we need to go a little higher to like 20 something.
Yeah.
Well, of course, NQ can overshoot by a couple points, so we'll see. Maybe then we can get a reversal, but who knows? And I didn't watch the news, but somebody mentioned that was negative.
Let
And we
me
just
check again.
keep going up.
Yeah, CPI, year-on-year CPI.
Yeah, I was really hoping for retracement to where the news happened,
Wait, no, it's less than. So it's positive because CPI is less, right, than the forecasted values. So I think that's why it went bid.
So it's less than forecasted.
Yeah.
So I
So
think
core CPI
yeah,
year
so
on
I
year
think,
was.
so I think that means it's it's bad. Yield market's going up.
No, that's good, right? Like you want CPI to be less, right? Or am I reading this wrong?
I don't know. I'm not too good with the news. I just go with the price action.
Yeah, so I think because CPI measures the change in prices, because like if you have like a basket of goods and then you measure the change in prices of that, so you want a lesser percentage change, which reflects a lower rate of inflation. So
Okay.
less, smaller amount of CPI would indicate something that's bullish, I guess. That's why we went big.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I
Yeah.
see what you're talking about. Yeah, I just Googled it myself. Not Google, but clicked on it. And so yeah, you're right. Negative is actually good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, like the site that I use, it has it in red.
What are you using?
It has financial juice.
Yeah, that's
It
what I
has the
use.
number in red, so like you would think that, oh, that's like negative news, but no, it just means it's less than the forecasted.
Yeah. Yeah. I just clicked on that and it explains what it is.
Yeah.
So it's negative across the board, so should be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you say, that's why. That's why it's
No,
going
honestly,
up.
I think this is like the biggest like move this year, I think, after like a CPI announcement.
Yeah,
Because the
it's
previous ones this year haven't been this, this much.
recently the news like had little effect on the price.
Yeah, I remember last year, like we had like I think it was like either CPI or like NFP. We had like 100-point move in like one day.
Mm-hmm.
Or not even one day, like just like in the morning. I was like, what the fuck? And I was in Disney World with my family, so I couldn't trade it. And I saw it in the afternoon. I was like, God damn, I missed all that.
Yeah, but that's one thing to like right now. It moved so much, but like I don't know about you, but I actually lost money on it.
Yeah.
And even from from the open um, we're up. Oh no, that's the news. Okay, so from the open we're up 10 points. So and I lost money. It's going up. Yeah, I was thinking of selling actually right at the open
Mhm.
when we tested the overnight high after news.
Yeah.
Over there, I think I would for sure make some money.
Yeah, you could have made
Uh,
like, 6 points at least,
yeah, I would
depending on.
scale it. I would get some, probably get stopped out on the rest.
Yeah.
And that another move that was like 8 points, I saw that too. But at the open after news, I know market moves a lot. Like today, it didn't, but many
Mhm.
times it will just spike up and
Yeah.
down to confuse everybody, and then it will move. So that was kind of like keeping me from putting on a trade. But I
Right.
was sure that we're gonna sell. That's why I was selling, because I was sure that we're gonna retest. If not, what I was thinking, scene of crime, at least numbers that Zero posted,
Yeah.
that 91 or 95. So I thought at least we're gonna test that and then go up.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Because it rarely happens that it moves like that after news. At some point, a move like that usually gets retested. Because I think if it's gonna go up, most of these guys, they probably wanna get on the move.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with what they were talking about, NQ rebalancing and stuff.
I thought he said that was gonna be. Well, I guess it's leading up to it, so
Yeah, on the 24th, that's what
Yeah.
Zero said. But I'm sure there is a lot of movement. Like, with, I don't know if people are I don't know what it means. So if people are buying the stocks or moving out, so if they're doing that, they're repositioning, then that's gonna have a big effect on NQ, ES. Because the top stocks, both of them, they're in NQ and ES.
Mhm.
So obviously, probably gonna have more weight on NQ because there's only 100 stocks, and that
Yeah.
like the top 10 have more weight on NQ price, whereas ES like it has 500 stocks. Yeah, it's really, really slow.
Yeah.
I mean, there is fair amount of liquidity, like around 150 on ES at each price.
Mm.
But yeah, there is not on Delta. There is not that much buying.
Mm. Reversal time, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah,
Look at the
there
1
hasn't
minute.
been. The only, well, actually, it was a real highs pretty much, but it's not moving that much.
Yeah. It's gonna
The
stall again.
delta, it's not like shooting up. It's
Mm.
so at the open and right after open that another push up that was real buying, and then later on it just sold off, and it's not really right now what Zero calls it. It's not real high.
Hmm. Well, that's because of the cumulative delta, right?
Yeah. But that you have to look short term, like maybe half an hour the most, I think.
Mm.
Because, if there's some, and it can throw it off, because if there is some absorption, if there is some absorption, then it's not gonna move, or actually the delta's gonna move because there is obviously like aggressive buying or selling, so it's gonna move one way or the other, but price
Mhm.
gonna stay, and that's why it's you cannot compare it. I think like over the whole day. I think you have to compare it in like within maybe last hour the most, maybe half an hour.
I see.
Because yeah, just one move, like one area of absorption can throw it off.
It was still not crossing 45.22. Kind of just stuck there.
Yeah. I wonder
Yeah, I
if
guess
it,
there would be like there's a lot of, I don't know if it's true or not, but like is there a lot of absorption at like 2150?
yeah, there is some 20. It's actually 25. Yeah, 25. There is more absorption there.
25, really?
Yeah.
Well, so that just means there's a lot of like limit orders placed there, right?
No. I mean, there is not that much. There is actually 300 at almost 400 at 22. But price only touched there a couple times, and there is at 22. Hold on, 22. There is only 300 contracts traded.
Mm.
At
Okay.
21.75, there is maybe 1,500. But at
Yeah, it's a lot.
21.25, there is 7, 8, almost 8,500 traded.
Jesus Christ.
So that means, somebody's reloading their,
Yeah.
somebody's, like trying to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
They keep buying with markets and limits are reloading.
Oh, I see. So they're trying to like push it up then, is what you're saying.
Not hard to say. There's just because usually when there's absorption, delta will keep going up because obviously people markets are buying, and
Mhm.
somebody's just reloading the bid, meaning they're putting limits to sell. But delta's actually pretty flat. You know what? Hold on. Actually, there was. I think most of it happened like maybe what is it? 10 minutes ago.
Gotcha.
Because then you can. There is on a 1 minute bar. I see there's delta, pretty high delta, and later on delta is like very very weak. It's actually like selling off or actually like flat. So I think most of it happened like in around 920. Most of the absorption. Let me see. Yeah, some happened again at 9:30 when we got there, but most of it I think happened between 9 and 18 and 9:22.
Okay. Yeah, I can kind of see it. I was gonna say like this could have been like a setup for a short because we have that range on top in the 1 minute. At those times you said we top ticked that and then had to break a structure, and then we had a pretty nice pullback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for
Then
a
now
mini scalp.
we have we have a triple top at the high of day now.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm thinking is if it fails to like flush down, then we're probably just gonna run those stops at the if day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or maybe buyers gave up already. Because on that second push, huh?
Yeah, I can see them trying to push it down, but
Yeah, because on that second push up, there was no buyers. On Delta, you don't see any buyers. It's we made like double top, but on Delta, not really. Delta was a bit low. Let me see. So Delta was roughly, that was 8,000, almost 2,000.
Wow.
Almost
Should probably
2,000
still-
lower. Delta was when we came back up to that high. So it's showing lack of buyers. Yeah, buyers were exhausted, but well, let's see if they can push it down. Yeah, I don't think I want to do anything over here.
yeah, I'm just gonna watch it.
Because it could sell off, but it could very well like especially on that where you said, you know, break of
Yeah.
structure, retest, and sell. But then once that didn't go lower, I was expecting for the price to break through the highs,
Mhm.
because usually that's what will happen. They will come back, like get the shorts, because you know, like people see, oh, okay, it failed, we got some absorption, and they will start selling.
Yeah.
Price will go lower, and then it just, you know, gets more fuel, gets some liquidity, and then they go up.
Hey guys,
What's up, dude?
Hey, Operator.
are you stalking for trade now?
I mean, hard to say.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to touch it. It's just too slow, and
I have a trade idea in mind, but I'm not that confident in it, honestly.
you could put like, you know, 1 or 2 micros.
I guess, yeah. But I mean, this price action isn't looking too good because I would be buying in this area if I got into a trade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, trend day long only so far.
Yeah.
But it's no fun buying at a drop, so
Yeah, exactly, right. But if we break this, like we're gonna flush it up, dude. That's what I'm feeling, but you never know.
It's looking like it's picking up speed right now. The uptick's going up all the time, making new highs, but delta's not.
on such days delta isn't reliable.
Yeah, yeah, I've noticed that. On a grindy days like that, delta will give you signals to short all the time. And you could do it, but you have to scalp like fat cats. You have to, you know, be in and out.
Days, you mean? Like Delta gives like false signals.
Yeah, yeah, like right now we were talking about that double tap.
Yeah.
On delta you have divergence because we have double tap, but delta is like way down, not way, but you know, like 2,000 contracts down. And those moves actually, you know, they work, but like I say, you have to scalp. You cannot hold for like couple points, you know, maybe get 2 points,
Yeah.
depending on where you enter.
But I think even Fatcat doesn't like those days and doesn't trade them.
Yeah.
Hey Peter, if you have time, do you mind us walking through your trade from yesterday?
Sure. You wanna do it now?
And just when you have time and when you're not disturbed from your...
Yeah, I don't wanna do anything right now, so if you guys want, we can go through it.
Yeah, it would be cool. Do you have any issues with trading long or short buys, like a favorable direction?
Me? No, not that I've noticed. No, not really. I'm always going against the trend. That's what I've known. I know that for sure. Hard for me to go with the trend. So I always fade the moves.
Cool.
Let me see. Can you guys see it?
1 second. Yep, I can see it.
Yeah, so we're actually on right in the middle of low volume node on 3-year in ES. So that's a 1 minute. So so my idea was that after this move, we kind of shut up with no significant pullback. And also there were those overnight highs. So it's almost like this one, sorry. So this was Asia high. This was London high. And then sort of at the open, we came up to it and sold off. So you could say this is like black. That's what I like to see. I never traded those like that big of a time span. For me, usually those trades happen in like maybe an hour, where we will do this and then we will break out a little bit and come back in. So I like those. I will take those trades to buy, to test either the middle, most of the time test the high of the range. So that was the idea, and then we consolidated here for a bit. Let me jump to 5 seconds. So then we broke that area, consolidated for a bit. I actually took my first trade on my live account here. Then I got stopped. Stop was at high of day. We wicked it, and then once we came back, that gave me idea that we gonna, it very well could bounce and keep going, but it was fairly small stop. Like this was 6 points, roughly, a little more than 6 points. So it wasn't that bad. That was like 300 something point stop. I mean dollar. So it wasn't that bad. It was worth the risk. Because like I said, here we could bounce, retest those highs and keep going higher. But usually what I've noticed, it will just shoot up more if it's a real breakout. I mean, that can still happen, you never know. With trading, you never know. And so yeah, I placed my limit once we came back. After this move, I was fairly confident, because we formed this range, breakout, and it came back. So I was fairly confident in this move. So just to mitigate risk, it was a little more than 1-to-1. I think it was 10 points. Yeah, 10 points with a 6 point stop. And then here it was just straightforward. That was the limit for the day, how much I can make on Combine. So I took it at like $900.
Nice. Did you mitigate risk based on the price action or based on?
No, just 10 points.
Okay.
Just 10 points. I was that 10 point that, and also like I was thinking at worst we would test open range high, these highs.
Yeah.
So I was thinking even if we go up, we can test those highs, and at least if it keeps going higher, at least with commissions I'll make just a little bit, some change. So that was the idea, 10 points and also this. And here, when I had my target here, and I was fairly certain too that once we break this, then we will keep going lower. But price got to like literally like what is it, 2 points from my, yeah, less than 2 points from my target, and it kept, like kept reversing. I'm like, oh shit, we could maybe, maybe this is not accepting, and then we will go higher. So I was moving my stop to here, then here. At some point, I think I had it like right here, but then I moved it up. I'm like, I'm not gonna risk it because it can very well. We had a low node here. What was it? I think it was here, the low node.
Yeah, with the high, it makes sense.
Yeah, we had a low node here. So I was thinking that we can retest it. So then I moved my stop, I think here or here. I was playing around with it. If I moved my stop, not stop, but target closer, I'm like, okay, maybe we'll just retest this and keep going higher. But I'm like, I was confident. Then once we didn't break these highs and we kept going lower, I was confident that we're gonna test it. And after that, we got a nice flush. But obviously, I cannot take it because then I would go way over my, the consistency rule.
Yeah.
And then I would just increase my target. So I would,
Very nice trade. Thank you for
yeah, no
sharing.
problem.
The Viva band didn't matter for you. Like,
No,
yeah,
I don't. The bands, no, I don't really look at them. Yeah, in this case, it bounced it, but I don't really look at it. Right now, I look at VWAP as potential target. So that's how I look at it. But I don't trade off of it. I don't really pay that much attention to VWAP. Only, like I said, I will when I'm looking to trade back inside the range, I will look for either point of control or VWAP as potential target. To area to get out.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
I don't really like. I used to, because I know Merit talks about first and second deviation. First and second bend. So I know he looks for those trades. Like even today, when you look at it, we're actually sort of after we came out of that morning consolidation, we're kind of like bouncing between 1 and 1.5 bends at least in NQ. I don't know about ES. Might be the same. No, actually ES is cutting between one first bend. It's like chopping around first bend. NQ is bouncing between first and 1 and 1.5. But
Yeah.
I don't really look at it. Like even the second, like people look for, like it's overextended. But just like with anything, like even Bollinger Bands and stuff, like if it moves, it moves. You can see that it will just hug those bands or come out and keep going higher. So
Yeah.
I think for me right now, what's most important is zones, like levels. What zero posts, and I have my own like areas that I look at, and I think that's more important than the band. Like if everything lines up, then that can give you extra confluence. That extra confluence and can give you extra confidence in the trade.
Yeah, and in hindsight, it looked so nice, but you don't know how it looked like in during live, or because when the band is forming, it doesn't necessarily make a round bottom or top.
Yeah.
At the live, it just shows you are close to it, and the line is still showing straight up.
I mean, with VWAP, yes, it does. It actually shows you live where you're at because they don't change after. I know what you mean. There is some indicators that change after, but VWAP's pretty steady. It's just having the confidence in taking a trade in that.
But the angle changes, like
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. Yes, for sure. Oh, so you're looking at that also? If it like
No.
if it's flat, then
no, I'm just noticing it, like when you are actually watching it developing at the top, then you usually have a high angle that is showing to the upside, and when you get a move down later, then you of course will get a rounded top or a declining line that indicates
yeah.
weakness, but then it's too late already.
Yeah, sort of like with anything. Like if you see what happened, even with price action, then I think that's how our brains work and our eye. That once we see that, okay, I see my setup. But if you were to go either live or by bar or do replay, everything looks different.
Yeah.
Like, of course, you have more confidence when you backtest and you see, okay, price went here, so your eye is drawn to that area and you look for patterns. Whereas if you really look at it, like if you were to do it bar by bar, I'm sure you would notice those patterns before. Like right now, when price was going up, you could notice some patterns. But if you talk, like you set the angle, if you look at the angle of VWAP right now, at least on NQ I'm looking, then it's starting to flatten. Like before it was more steep, now it's starting to flatten. It
Yeah.
didn't turn around yet, but you can see small turn.
It can only turn around when it's below it.
Let's see, yes, same thing. It's like you can see from almost 850, maybe not 850, but like 914, that it's starting to like
You look at the ETH VWAP or the RTH?
ETH.
Yeah.
ETH. I know, like I was listening to Merritt. He says that most of the time he looks at ETH VWAP. He will only look, maybe like today, he will look at RTH, both or just RTH. Like when we get like crazy move, crazy sell-off. And by the time the market opens, then we get the bands are so wide that he cannot use anything. So then I think he switches to RTH.
Yeah. In NQ, I just switched the VWAP bands. We just bounced from the RTH VWAP, but 462.69 is where I have the RTH VWAP.
Yeah. So if you notice, yes.
But
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I never have found the RTH VWAP so important, like as reliable as the ETH VWAP.
Mm-hmm. Now, how do you use? How do you use VWAP?
I just watch it where it is, like I usually use the ETH VWAP. Now I just switched for fun to see what the other one says. And yeah, you can have bounces from ETH VWAP. And it's
I mean, you can have both. I think some people have both, and they they see how price reacts.
yeah, but I don't like it so much to trade alone from it. Like I just like to know where it is, but not to. I mean, in the same way you do, using it for a target or to take off, because you often get bounces there, but you don't want to lose your unrealized profits or want to take some profits. And therefore, it's good, but otherwise, it's mostly dangerous play.
Yeah.
Like here, we have a low volume node around 15,450, and it's below VWAP. And I would still like consider this like a pullback to the long side with a short potential stop loss when you see the price action that you don't actually at the moment. There I would look more for the low volume node or the structure instead of VWAP, or even look at the VPOC. That is also now above and a high node below. So it doesn't play too much importance for me.
There was another good trade. Nice trade in NQ. I've noticed that NQ bounces from high volume nodes really well. Like either composite or usually composites.
What rate did you favor in NQ just now? The short side from
Short.
500?
Yeah, short. Short you could at the top would be kind of hard to probably get at the very top. Let me see if I got anything there.
Yeah, they had 500, of course, there was high volume transacted, and on the retest again. That's often a possibility. But on a day like this, it's hard to. For me, it's hard to take the short.
Yeah. But you can see, like on 1 minute, it was break of structure.
Yeah.
On 1 minute,
At,
broke it, came back for a retest, and I mean, if you got it at the top, very top, you could have close to.
But when you got the retest at the top, you again had a break of structure from the not so important high around 28, 30.
Yeah, so yeah,
30,
there was on NQ was very nice setup because there was break of structure on 1 minute and then on 5 seconds on the retest.
Yeah.
So it was this one worked.
Right. I wonder if Harvey got it.
Let's see. Did he? No, he didn't post his meme, so either he's still in a trade or he didn't take it.
on the 5 minutes, you might still see an intact trend line or intact structure to the long side.
On 5 minutes, yeah.
Like eyeballing it. And this right now might be the reversal point, like at least from the 5-second structure or 15-second structure. Well, I'm looking right now. Like long 55 and top below 50. But if you get the risk reward, I don't know.
Okay, I'll be right back. What's up, shit? So you made all your money? Seems from 3 points. What was it? 325?
Yeah, 320.
On micros, which you could start, because you only need $100.
$30 or something?
$100.
Oh.
You need at least $100 to trade.
No, how much money would I make?
$15 with one contract. $15, or 2 contracts. You need, of course, more money, but you would make twice that. See, that's the beauty of it. Like once you know how to do it, to get a rate, to give yourself a raise. You don't have to go ask somebody. You just double your contracts, and that's it. So on regular contract, that would be $150, but you need a lot more money for it. But that's how you start. You start with the small account. You go up, build it up, you build your confidence, and then you go to big contract. Or you can increase the number of small contracts. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I think we missed it, Chia.
Fuck, dude. Oh well.
Yeah, with see what I find tricky, and the reason I've been trading NQ lately because it moves. Like you can get like really nice moves, like 20, 30 points. You can, I mean, get it no problem. Whereas ES, it doesn't move as good. And
Also,
I've noticed NQ respects high volume nodes, like whether we get like a little bit of consolidation at top, like either on hourly 4-hour chart, and we get a little bit of consolidation, and we have a, so we build, of course we build some volume, and you put a volume profile there, so it tests it like not to the tick, but very close. Like right now, what was it? 07. So I think high was 07. Yeah, 07. And that looks like that high volume node on 3-year was at 425. And we bounced it. Let me show you what I'm looking at.
so these high volume nodes, is it only on the 3-year that you're looking at, or are you looking at?
This one is 3-year because we would have to go way back to get anything. What is it? April 5th, I think it was. Yeah, where we had any price action there. Let me see if actually how does it look like if we get anything price action, like okay, yeah, just on 4-hour, just one candle straight down, because I only have the 3-year on 4-year profile, otherwise it gets like really laggy.
Right. Okay.
But let me see volume. It's close on that. Those candles, the high volume node was at 92. So I'm still like, it's good to see like price action, like, so you have something with price action there, and like composite, and also 3-year profile. So let me take a screenshot so you can see. And I've noticed with ES is not as clean for some reason, where I think it should be more clean. Like we should test high volume nodes, low volume nodes on ES, like a lot closer to the tick. And actually that low volume node we tested almost to the tick, or maybe a tick above, because it's
Number
at
two.
Yeah, it's at 23, and what was it? On ES3, 2375. Let me see, that low volume node is a, yeah, 23. So, but 3 ticks, it's still pretty good. But yeah, I didn't notice that with ES, and Q is a lot better. So like you can see, number one, we got that little, you know, consolidation, and we tested that almost like very close, and we got a nice bounce. And if you, even if you can catch that, let me see how many points, because you can see it closed and then came down, so that bounce is what, 60 points. Another one like 5 and you know, 5 and 6, that like low consolidation, we overshot it by 10 points. But if you look to the right, that high 3-year profile,
Yeah.
that's also like there is a high volume node there. So if you combine those, like the composite and the 3-year, you can see
Oh,
that
it
from, huh?
It like matches up, like you can fit it together.
Yeah, the 3-year is actually the 3-year high volume node is actually only 5 points off of that move on 6. So it only overshot the composite 5. You know, the what I posted 5. So it overshot that move on 6, overshot the composite by 10 points or 9 points, but the 3-year composite only by 5. And today, right now, the 4 and 3, it only overshot it by 4 points.
Oh wow.
And it's a fairly decent move off of it.
Yeah.
It's what, 50, I mean, all the way down, it's like 56 points. You're probably not gonna get that, but even 40 points in NQ, that's times 2. Either $2 or $20, depending on which one you trade. So if you scale 10 and take, let's say, 40 points, or you know, you exit at break of structure or something, like you get this consolidation that we got now, and it's still moving up, you know, you can still get like 40 points with a fairly small stop. But here's the thing, like with NQ you have to be precise, because 10-point stop with 2 contracts is $400.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Which is a lot. And that's why I don't like it. Like 10-point stop, I took it, I think, once. But overall, I'm not gonna take it again, because if you think about it, like 10-point stop, $400, but our max for the day is $900, so it's 2 to 1. So you have to be very precise. Like, if you can get away with 5-6 point stop on NQ, then yes, I will take it on minis. But probably like 10-point stop, I will take 10 contracts on micro.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, because it just doesn't, the math doesn't work. I mean, if you don't have any limits, like we do on Combine, and you can take, you know, 12, 1500, you know, you can take 40, 50 points in NQ, then yeah, why not? If you risk 10 points and you can take 50 points, you know, that's good risk to reward. And depends on your win rate also.
True.
But then that adds up. So yeah, that's why I've been, and it's sort of Harvey helped me out with that, because I was looking at his trades, and he trades NQ a lot with minis. So you know, like he takes 30 points in NQ with 2 contracts, and I think he can go up to 1200 on his Combine So that's what he's doing, and obviously you're not gonna get that every day, but even if you take like 10 points, on 2 contracts, that's $400. Do it twice, which is not hard in ES, and you're done for the day.
Yeah. Sounds so easy. Dude, I always tell myself that it's like, oh, if you just, get so and so like 10 points, that's like $500.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds so easy, and then you try and do it, and you just end up getting fucked.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a setup and see that's the mindset also, like not to hold it, because like Zero tells us to hold it, from level to level. So it's kind of like I get mixed feelings, but and he says you cannot do both, but I would like to do both, where I have one account where I can do day trading, and like with his setups, you can, it's. And here is the thing, like if you have a setup, something similar to maybe like FatCat or something else where you have to watch it, then you cannot trade like Zero. You cannot trade as many products, and you cannot trade like him. Because like there is certain setups that I see, like on NQ, there is no way I could catch it anywhere. Like that trade yesterday. Because it just happens like really, really quick. So you actually have to pretty much just watch it and be there. Whereas with Zero setups, like, either his setups or the trades he takes, like there's more, I think there is more time. And those are like sometimes happens in a day, but usually multi-day trades. So you have like swing trading, so you have a lot more time. So I think I could do both. Or, like on the one account take 1 or 2 trades, or I don't know how many he takes a week, and then have another account just for day trading.
It's not a bad idea. I might have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, look at FatCat. If FatCat learned or was doing what Zero's saying, his plays, he could put it on, and then he could just go on and make his, 2, 3, 5,000, whatever he makes in his day trading.
Mm-hmm.
So you make money on both ends. And it's up to you. Like, some people don't want to do that day trading. They want to do something like Zero does, more of a swing trading. Ideally, I would like to do both, like, do what Zero does, and do like maybe hour and a half, 2 hours. Because really, if you're looking for those setups, like couple points, then I'm sure you could get it from the open to like, within 2 hours, like till London close. I'm sure you can get your setup.
Yeah. Yeah, at least for me, my issue is finding a setup that appears often enough that I can take it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, once or twice a day maybe.
Right.
But still working towards it. Something that actually works,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the hard thing is that, like what we're talking about, 10 point move in NQ. Okay, so you get it, and you should be happy. But when you catch 10 points and it goes for 60,
yeah,
you're
like, I would not be happy about that.
Yeah, then you're like, I could have gotten more. I mean, you can build up to that, like you can always go for 10, but once you build up your account and ability to, enter with like, let's say 4 or 5 contracts, and enter maybe like we talked about, get 10 points with 4 contracts and let that one run. Either leave the stop where it's at, or move it to break even and let the trade run.
Yeah.
And once in a while you will get those moves. Because yeah, that I think that's what's hard about trading. Because when we get back, like we talked about it with what Harvey mentioned this morning, like when you get back, when the day ends, you're like, oh, there is a setup, there is a setup.
That always fucking happens, dude.
Yeah, but it's harder to take it and catch it in real time because you don't know what's gonna happen. But then once you see a 50 point like right now, it's so easy, right? To get the
Yeah.
like when you look at ES or NQ, so easy to get that. But look what happened before. It was like coming down, like little pullback, and then it moves up. Pullback and it moves back up. So
Yeah.
are you gonna have the confidence? Like, are you? So you have to have either a setup or an area where you're looking for your setup. Because if you keep taking each one, if you're not gonna scale right away, you're just gonna get run over like 3-4 times. And by the time, like right now, which happened to me a lot, like right now, if I were to take every trade, like maybe around the open, that would work. But then on another one, I would get, like around 8:59 central. Then probably if I was going for a little more, then you get run over. You get run over one more time. And by the time the real reversal happens, you get run over 3-4 times. You're like, okay, I'm done. The market keeps going up, and that's when it happens. The next trade that you don't take, that's the one that works. And and I'm telling you, that happened to me so many times in live and sim. That I'm like, okay, because sim I don't. Sometimes I will take it like what I think, but I have I will put it in like, okay, that's what I think. So then I can see if it was my setup or not. But I try to keep it realistic. Like if I take 3-4 losers, then like right now I stop trading like I would do in real life, maybe even less. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, that's why it's not that easy. Unless you have an area like today, like in NQ, I was looking for that bounce from that high volume node or 3-year, which we got. And if I only waited for that and took it, then, that would be nice winner, but I didn't take it. I missed it. I missed it, and I don't know if I would have, if I was looking at it, I don't know if I would have taken it because, how the market was moving this whole morning.
Right. But was that something like you saw before the market opened?
What?
Like you said that high node, right, at on the 3-year?
I saw that after, but I talked about it before it happened. That we have that high node there and a low volume node, which on ES I thought we're gonna jump the gap, but on ES we actually got right to the low volume node and we bounced from there. I thought we actually gonna close that, not a gap, but you know what I mean, like low volume node. So there's usually like a cap with the lowest point in the middle. So I thought we actually gonna go to the other side of that gap. So I wasn't sure. I was thinking that NQ could go a little bit higher along with ES. So yeah, it's not that easy.
No, it's.
But yeah, my idea originally was that we're gonna come back on ES, retest the news, and then buy from there. but after we kept going up, then I started looking at that high volume node that we can bounce from there. And that's what I mean about areas. Like that, for me now, areas are more important because, like,
Yeah, I agree.
I have certain setups that they appear not everywhere, but sometimes on like move. Like right now, we got, um, I got couple setups, but once I saw that we're not going down, then I saw the, the high volume node, and I would only wait for my setup in that area. Whereas before, I would take every setup. Like, okay, I see a setup, boom, I take it, I get stopped out. I see another setup. And then that got me, because I went back and looked at it, I'm like, okay, we're in the middle of nowhere. And where does it usually turn around? And I see my setup. And sometimes it will turn around and I don't have a setup, which sucks, but like, so now I'm looking like maybe for a different kind of setup or something to clue me in that, okay, we got to this point that I'm looking at. What's happening there that I can get in on the trade. And the thing is that, like, even with Zero, anybody, any trading style, like even Zero has, like, has areas, and sometimes he doesn't get the price action that he needs. We'll get in the area and then just moved without his setup, and you just miss it. I mean, it's never gonna be perfect. Sometimes you're looking at an area and we come close, like price doesn't touch it and keeps going, it will reverse, and your trade will work it just without you, because you're waiting for a little higher or lower, and sometimes it will overshoot. Maybe even grab your stop, and then it will work. So that's trading.
Zero doesn't seem to be so focused on those areas, just like a very approximate thing. He takes them before price reached areas when he sees
Right.
price action, and he takes it when the price broke through it and shows him a reversal sign.
Yeah. If
The
you
thing
get
about context, though, right?
Huh?
I mean, like it's all like in the context of like price action,
yeah.
right? That's why he does that, which is something that I think I need to work on, because sometimes like if it passes a zone or it doesn't reach it, I'll like look towards something else, and the next thing you know, like you get the price action reversal, but you missed the trade already. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly like with the major levels. Like sometimes they are like spot on, plus minus 1-2 points, and sometimes he still counts them if the price reverses around 10 points in years or more.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, it's just like with any setup. Like like usually, I don't know if you probably watch YouTube videos and stuff. Like people show their setups, and it's a perfect setup. Or in a book they show a textbook setup, but real life it never. Like once in a while it will set up exactly, but most of the time it's not gonna be the same.
Yeah.
It's gonna look a little different. So in trading, I think it's gotta be close enough. Close enough. You gotta take it, and I think that's something what Zero mentioned, and I think it's good. I never talked about. I mean, um, when I record my trades, usually I will put like first or second attempt for the trade, so I know how many attempts I took. But yeah, what Zero was talking about, you have to account for, like, he will get price action reversal ahead of his zone, let's say. So he will take one stop, and there is a potential that you can get stopped out. So you have to be ready to re-enter lower, let's say, if you want to buy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think in your assessment of your trading setup, you have to account for that. How many times you might have to take a setup for it to work. Because, let's be honest, a couple of times you will get lucky, not lucky, but, it will work out to the T. Like, you will get a perfect setup, perfect pullback, you will enter, won't get stopped out, and it's gonna work. But many times it won't. Like, you might have to take like 1 or 2 attempts at a trade, maybe even 3. So that's something you have to work into your, like, even the trades that I like, the FOBO block, which is what I took yesterday, that if we form a consolidation and we break out of it, then I will try to fade it back inside. Sometimes I have to take like 2 stabs at it, because it comes out a little bit and it stalls, like consolidates, so I enter and it keeps going lower. With my stop just below the low, I will get stopped because it will come lower, and then I will get another price, like it will stall, I will enter again, and then it will work. Sometimes it won't. So, that's what you have to account for.
Yeah.
And if you have seen him trading CL yesterday, I don't know, didn't count, but it looked like he took the trade like 6 times and got like almost always risk mitigated. But he still entered and entered and entered. It really was great.
Yeah, I saw that. Was it 6 times?
I don't know, it just felt like
Yeah.
in the end, I think the last one was the stop, and then he didn't push any further.
Yeah.
But he risk mitigated most of those times, or did he let his?
Yeah, I think he risk mitigated 1-to-1 on most of them, because of we overshot, because he was looking to short, and actually price moved above the zone. So I think that's why he was risk mitigating 1-to-1, which most of them he did. But on the combine, what sucks with the micros, even if you risk mitigate and you break even, you're still like coming out negative, pretty much.
Yeah, with commissions.
Yeah, with commissions. Yeah, commissions gonna eat you alive.
Dude, commissions are fucked, man.
Yeah, that's why I like minis too.
Yeah.
Because it's like on my trades I only lose like maybe less than $10, where if I took the same trades with like 10 micros, commissions would be like at least $20, and you probably don't make as much anyways.
You can still calculate in the commissions and risk mitigate with commissions, but
True.
then of course your risk reward is worse, and you have to watch for a good price action.
Yeah, for sure you could do that. So actually on ES you only take what, half a point or even a tick extra to account for the commissions. On NQ you need what, a point, which is nothing on NQ.
2 ticks on ES and 1 point in NQ.
Yeah.
Approximately.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you could always do that.
By the way, did you notice he didn't journal all those trades from yesterday?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was looking to read the journal, but I didn't see anything. Man, look at that move on both of them. ES and NQ. Ah, shoot.
Wonder if there are news.
I don't think we... do we have any news? No, nothing. There's only 9:30 oil, but it already happened. And
But
Well-
watch the time.
Hmm.
London closed.
yeah, London close. Yeah, that could be it. But yeah, what a move! Wow.
ES 4500 seems to be resistance again.
What's that?
ES 4500 seems to
Oh,
give a small resistance or support.
yeah.
Well, this sucks.
Anybody got that?
No, I mean, I think it was too deep in the hole already to short.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, like it was nice pullback to that console in both of them actually. NQ, we did a nice pullback. Around what is it, 1020, and same with the ES. ES gave even better pullback because NQ wasn't deep enough.
You had like 2 opportunities to get in there.
Yeah, yes, was beautiful. Like we had that
Yeah.
little consolidation, so it's like between
I guess
those
it
two
could have, like-
consolidations. What would the stop be? Oh, like 5 points, close, 5 points.
It's not the worst, honestly, if you size properly.
Yeah,
But yeah.
but see, here's the thing: how much are you gonna go for? Like, see, Imperator had an idea that it's just gonna be a pullback for another long. So if you're thinking
Right.
along those lines, then you're not gonna go for a move like this. What just happened, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, if you're thinking that we might go maybe to VWAP, I don't know, whatever you're looking at, then you take 5 point stop and roughly 10 points to VWAP, 2 to 1, okay. You could take it, but if you have an idea that it's gonna just be a pullback for another long, then how is it worth the risk?
Yeah.
That's
Good point.
that's the thing. There is always that.
And then where do you take the pullback for the long? Like right here where we broke the last swing failure low in NQ? It might be a chance, or do you wait for it to go all the way back to the SOC? Or do you take it even earlier because you think it's a 20-day long and it doesn't go back at all?
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea to scale because, yeah, like you say, it could go to scene of crime. Can just stop over here and keep going, or just maybe range in this area. But I think eventually we're gonna pull back because we broke out of that area. Hold on, did we? Oh, actually we did. We did pull. It's kind of, I don't know. We did pull back. There was a high on Friday. What is it? June 30th. High. We pulled exactly to the high.
Yeah, I see it. June 16th, I
Yeah.
think.
Actually, June 30th. We pulled to the high. Is it? Yeah, Friday, June 30th.
Wait, are you on NQ or ES?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I was on NQ.
Oh, you're on NQ? Oh, let me see NQ.
Yeah, I see June.
But on ES we didn't reach 4,500 before.
So
Yeah, it's
on
true.
NQ, it was actually like failed breakout because
Yeah,
we broke above the 16th, like you said, and we came back in. So it's like failed breakout.
dude, like we tapped it like to the tick on that pullback. If you can see it on the 1 minute.
Oh yeah, that pullback,
Very
right?
interesting. Yeah, on the pullback, it's like literally to the tick.
So it was nice, like what you said, that high, and also you see where we there was break of structure on 1 minute, and we pulled back almost to that area too.
Yeah.
So it was like, see, that's what I mean. When you go back and look at it, it's like, oh, perfect.
Dude, oh my god.
Just sell from there. So see, it's like kind of contradicting each other. Like ES broke out and it's retesting the area for another move up, whereas NQ failed to break out and it's moving back inside the consolidation. So which one is it? Or maybe they'll do their own thing. Who knows? Because see, like ES pulled exactly, retested that high, but I was thinking we should get back at least to like 93, because from the 16th, there is a high from 16th, and also like around beginning of July, we had some highs there, like price was stuck there. So I was looking for 93 and possibly 84.5 because that's news of the, the news. So I was thinking
But then you are ignoring today's price action. Like, look at the previous swing low around 98, and then you have 4,500. It's an important psych mark, and of course you have the scene of Crine around 83. So if you watch for 93, it's in the middle of today's price action.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I was looking like either like 93 too, because there is some those highs, but yeah, my idea was more so 84, 85 to retest the scene of crime, like right there, and then move up.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is hard because you have like 98, that's one high, another like couple highs on 4 hour. There's like 93, 93, and then scene of crime. So yeah, I would be looking for a long around those areas to see what the price action tells me.
Be right back, guys. Probably be back in like an hour.
Okay, all right, take it easy. So yeah, that's why, like this is kind of hard. Sometimes that's what I mean, like sometimes it's so confusing. Because like right now, ES failed to break out, where ES broke out and it's retesting or maybe it already did, or maybe it will come down to retest the range and keep going up, or is it gonna fail, like come back? But feels like it came out a lot. Feels like came out too much for it to be a like failed retest, and we actually put a lot of volume in there up top.
Yeah.
So it's not like I feel like it's gonna be a retest on continuation up, because usually if it gets rejected, we'll just the volume will start to taper off, at the top, whereas actually, if you look at, like I have the volume, the one I posted, but I just extended. Oh, actually, no, that's NQ. For ES, similar thing. So there is a lot more volume. I'll show you what.
Yeah, in my eyes too, it looks like a decent pullback already.
Yeah, I just posted it so you can see, like, we put not as much, obviously, you know, as much as in the consolidation, but I feel like we put decent amount up there. Because usually if it will be failed breakout, the volume will taper off at the top, and at the top there will be almost nothing. So then I would look at it as, okay, we're gonna have, you know, failed breakout. Once we come back, of course, we would have to come back inside the range, and then, okay, failed breakout, we can go to the other side of the range. So look for a short, whereas this looks like it could be just continuation up. Doesn't mean we can still pull back inside the range a little bit to either scene of crime or, you know, like 80 something. But
Yeah, I think if we now go back to 4,500 and we can't hold it, then we're going to the scene of crime, because then we had like a pullback intermediate and 4,500 and this prior swing low helped to bounce, but then you have still like all the trapped buyers above, and when are they going to capitulate? Well, I would capitulate if we are breaking that low again. And you must consider that we had a decent run up from yesterday in anticipation of the CPI news. So people are going to take profit, and we have a rounded top now. And with the rounded top, well, would you, if you were a buyer, would you think, okay, let's go up there, or would you think, well, it's enough, let's take my profits and end the day, like, you know?
yeah, I don't know.
So if I would have to bet, even if I love the long side, I would say we're going down to scene of crime at least
Yeah.
right now. But I don't take the trade anymore. Don't take trade today anymore. I'm exhausted.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, don't need to force it. But yeah, I think I will, if we get to scene of crime and see how price reacts around there, I might take a stab at it. But yeah, it looks like we might break. It might not hold.
Would you try it for a long around 4,500, like in this
No.
area where we are right now again?
No, I don't think I would. And it's not my setup. I've never traded those round numbers. I know what you mean, round number, and you know, like previous price action after news. But right now, I feel like
It's very high risk.
we didn't pull back enough, I think. I think it might pull back to like 93, or I'm pretty sure that we're gonna pull back to 90, you know, scene of crime. If not, then not. But yeah, I don't think I would be buying here because it's not my setup. I've never done that.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at, if you look at it, you know, we are at low volume node on that profile, that composite.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tricky.
But the real low volume node is at 39, where you said, right? At the high.
Where is it?
Where you said at around 93?
No, 98. 98.25. So that it's also the high from June 30th. If you look, that's high. So we
Okay.
tested it to the tick.
Oh, nice. I can't see
That,
it. So-
and it's also like the lowest volume node on that profile I posted, exactly in that area. But there is those lower, though, like where most of it happened, you know, those highs is around 93. And also, if you look, there is June 16th, so that's one closer to the right. That one high, it's also coincides, like it's 93.50 around those highs. So that's why I said 93 high, but I would probably be looking more for scene of the crime.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, like the price action right now, we're like bouncing it, almost like you know, like a ball bounces, and first it drops, it bounces, and then it's, you know, the next bounce is not as high. So, and now a lot of like sell orders went through in ES, like
Yeah.
a lot. Also some buys after that, but what is it, 1, 2, oh, there was like almost maybe 2,000, maybe more. Yep, I think we're going down.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. But I
Now
think,
we could get a lot of stop runs or liquidation.
yeah, I think if we break those lows, I'm pretty sure pre-market after news, and it's only they're one tick apart at 98 and 98.25. There's a lot of stops. I think we're gonna get a nice flush, like very shortly. Maybe not. Maybe they will defend it, but looks like they will.
Yeah, it looks little bit slowed down right now.
And there is actually almost 250 contracts just below at 98.
But it's not so much.
Yeah, no, I mean, if they reload, I mean, they, you know, even 140, they can keep reloading, and
If they want to reload this, I would hide it here.
yeah. Oh, looks like somebody's chasing. Somebody put 550 at 45 at exactly 500.
Oh,
After price came up, somebody put, you know, there is 500 now, 560. But they
That
could
would be-
be chasing
Oh,
it.
they got them.
Oh, there we go. They pulled it. Or no, shit, that actually got filled. 'Cause
and
there
now they are
was-
puking it.
What's that?
They made him higher his price, and now they are probably. Then they went away from his price and made him chase it,
Mm-hmm.
and now they are going to puke it all the way down.
Yeah, so the 500 at 500 price, that was to show people, you know, fake them, like you said, into buying, and then like 600 slammed 02, like at the top. I see there was 500 contracts, and they slammed it, and all of them they got filled. So that 500 was either real or somebody didn't pull it in time, because I see it on time and sales. There's 552 contracts filled, 115, 134, and 107.
And now they may be waiting for people to add to those positions, and once we break the low, they all have to puke,
Yeah.
and it goes down.
I think either somebody wanted to enter or exit, or somebody get very unlucky.
Yeah.
I think
Sometimes those points where you have like a decision line, like either it goes now up because people are strong in buying, or it goes lower because people are trapping the buyers. Those sometimes the hardest points to trade, even if they look so clean.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like right now it's not gonna be that easy. Even right now, if they wanna run it and somebody's absorbing here on the bottom, then they can run it a little bit higher to get even more buyers, because they're like, oh yeah, it's finally going up, so people will start buying. And because there was a lot of absorption at 49, I mean 99.75 and 50, 99.50. There was a
Yeah.
lot of absorption there. So if somebody's absorbing, they can run it higher to get people, like, you know, get them to buy, and then they're gonna run it again. Get some liquidity. Well, who knows? Maybe it will just continue up from now.
Yeah.
Because you can, and Q, and Q kept going lower. And Q was
Yeah.
in like a channel, down channel.
Yeah.
But that can continue for quite a while.
And if you look at it with Zero's perspective, with the line breaks, I guess on the 1 minute you have a line break to the upside, and then a pullback, and a line break to the downside. It's hard to read.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why, you know, you need area, specific area to focus on, because otherwise it's just gonna be like very confusing.
I'm taking a short break.
Okay. All right. See you later.
See you.
you made some money today? I lost some money today.
This time? Oh, right when I sat down, Mom said that it was moving a lot. So right when I sat down, I saw it was starting to it was like resistance and support. Like just two big levels. Kinda like it just started and it was bouncing around. When it just hit the